what a human can do. Can human act to environment and circumstances? Can he avoid the sequence and consequences? And can you understand that if there is a 1 ton of milk, it must take about 5 to 7 cows to give that milk, and take couple acres of grass to feed the cows. But 1 drop of lemon juice can totally spoil it. This we are not willing to accept. If we have done 100 good action, why one action which shows we are not committed, we are not deep enough, we are not trustworthy, should be considered against us? Psychologically, you move on the earth axle, and socially, you work on your orbit. These biorhythms and those rhythms are the same. They cannot change. And anything which moves on a rhythmical cycle, if shows one indifference, it breaks the rhythm. I'm very slow today, just I want you to understand that. If the commitment is not there, character is not there. Commitment gives us character. Character gives us dignity. And if people cannot understand your commitment, they cannot understand your character, and they cannot understand your dignity, question of divinity does not arise. And without divinity, which is yourself, your consciousness, your soul, your intelligence, your intuition, all those great things in you, that will give you divinity, and that divinity from dignity is one where you can deal with everybody gracefully, consciously, happily. Then you become impersonal giver like God. It's a hard way. Virle, Jinna Ram Pachata Virle Se Janam. Those who have understood God's word, the creativity of God as a creature, they are very far in between because it's very difficult. When you have dignity and grace, that will give you power to sacrifice. And the happiness which comes out of the sacrifice, that's the only happiness you have got. But your unfortunate thing is, oh, I cheated him, I got his money, now I am rich, he is poor. I did him in, I do this. Now we take that happiness where we temporarily win and permanently lose. Whenever you in behavior temporarily win, permanently lose. I was interfering in a marriage and I was very sad, and wife won temporarily. She won. She collected her children, she collected herself, and she lashed out at the husband left and right. So she won. That was over. Next day, she found he didn't come at home. So she searched it out, and he was in a hotel. And he told her, game is over. Third day, he wrote her a letter. This is my property and business. This is the 50% of it. With children, custody is all yours. The house we live in is extra, that's my goodwill to you. She called me. Naturally, I have to intervene. And when I heard both sides, she won, but unfortunately she was wrong. She had her menstruations, she was not feeling good. Certain thoughts were haunting her. She gave about 30 stories, but that doesn't make sense. Because when a woman talks to a man, it has to be mutual. If he is ornish, he is menstruating, there is no need to talk. Avoid the issue. And you cannot do, for 7 days you are committed, on 8th day you have gone rest because God did it. One teacher called me and he said, I am a good Gursikh, I am a good Kundalini Yoga teacher, I am good, I'm a whole good. But sometimes I feel people do not like me or respect me the way I want them to respect. I said, should I tell you the truth? He said, yes. I said, on every Sunday you do ponytail and put this shorts on which sometimes your private parts are hanging out, and you go for a walk. And everybody sees it. Everybody sees it. If you are a Gursikh, what are you doing? Where do you learn that? Well, that's my free day. I said, then take off that underwear and keep running. Everybody has told me that you are absolutely neurotic on every Sunday. I didn't ask you, you asked me, I told you. He said, is that wrong? I said, yeah. Somebody meditated 3,000 years. Those days lives were very long. People were real. 3,000 years the person meditated. And God appeared before the person, and he went to sleep and snoring. When he got up, the game was over. He saw something happened, but he couldn't avail it. There is a story of a person who was blind, and he was in a courtyard which was circular, and courtyard had 84 doors. Each door represented 125,000 lifetimes. 8.4 million total lifetime you become a human before that. So he was with his hand looking at every door. He came full circle, and then he has something in his neck. He scratched his neck and then again, but that door he missed. That exit of liberty he missed. People who do not understand one action, I don't think they understand they are human or not. Your every action creates a sequence. Every sequence creates consequences. Every consequence creates judgment. Every judgment creates your personality in the memory of the other. and that cannot be changed. That is our social faculty. Every disease is caused by your habits. Now I have a habit of an open heart and I want everybody to be exalted. All right, this is my habit. This is my need, this is my habit. And I have suffered time immemorial to time immemorial, and everybody has told me to stop it. I do not know how to. Because I don't believe any man is stupid. I even do not believe the stupid is stupid. Under the personal no good knowledge, a person can be stupid. And personal knowledge and personal experience can be given so a person can be wise again. That's all it is. And then disease will disappear. Sometime our difficulties are not this lifetime, they are from the previous lifetime. We all come at this time like sky at night has stars, and they are all relaying energy to each other. We have a magnetic field energy and we have etheric energy, which keeps our planet rotating and hanging on a proper degree in a fixed condition. It has a correlationship with everything. And those gospel truth, the earth is the center of the world and is a flat. If you go to the north, you fall into heaven. If you go to the south, you fall into hell. Those were imagination of those primitive people who didn't know what is what. They didn't have a Hubble up there to check out what is going on. Sikh Dharma, which has come out to be a religion, which I do not understand, but you understand or not, is a religion of the age of Aquarius. Its time is now going to come of the cusp. It's not, it has just started. No person will remain as a Sikh who does not have a Sikh experience, student's experience to become master. This religion is, our reality is not personal. So long you are personal, you are not religious. Then that reality is personal. The reality which you are practicing is an infinite reality, and that reality exactly had to be impersonal. Whole day I worked like a workhorse. Even last minute I wanted to clear it with one telephone. I couldn't because it was getting too late. But I had to dress up to come and teach the class. I may be sleepy right now, but I have to be very alert and active to do what I have to do. Because every person has a reserve of the will. This reserve will is which is your real friend and sport. If you think that you can't do errors, you are wrong. You will err. If you think that you will not avoid knowledge, you will. Knowledge is the only one thing human doesn't want. But each time you get a knowledge, or a status, or a position, you have to pay responsibility. You pay attention to it. You have to give results. And that will put you down. You don't want to be put down. That's why whenever you go to anybody's house, hey, Mr. So-and-so, do you want to have a drink? What, bourbon on the rock? Or this on the rock? So 2-3 pegs will make you absolute. Nobody wants to accept you at your personal level. Then why not to deal impersonally with everything which is in the world around and keep yourself happy and aloof? Look at things. And see, look at people and match up with their frequency. Deal with people in harmony, because otherwise there is no deal. Even a person who cannot elevate people should not be a teacher. Some people do not know what forgiveness is. You are not suffering because you are suffering because of what you do now. There are some suffering like my suffering. It is previous suffering. It's very unfortunate. Any person I love because my Venus is in 6th house, they become my enemy. People who don't know me, they love me so much. People who know me, they hate it so much, I can't believe. Why? Because I have to teach them to become better than me, and they don't want to be criticized by me, who they love so much. That's it. There's no relationship. Either I fail in my love or I fail in my duty. It is so effective. Everybody knows for eyes, nose and throat and for the brain, in the morning walking on a wet grass when it has little water from the nature is great. Is known. You have to put a really collector officer there to make people to take their shoes off. They have never learned how to walk on a grass. They don't. People do not know that you are supposed to wash your head and hair together under a shower, so the blood and arteries from the neck can go up there and keep open. You can do everything everywhere, but for your head and the main artery to the head, and then those head artery becomes very stiff and crack up, and then say, oh, he has a problem. Problem will be there. Every woman who will not massage her breast regularly under cold water and will not change the blood, she'll have breast cancer whether she likes it or not. Because so long people have children, that's fine, exercise is there. After that it has to be done manually. There's one strange thing which I have found in this country. Dharma, could you go and stop the class outside? Thank you. I have very surprisingly seen this, and it's not something that should not surprise you. People carry their baggage, their grievances, and judge it with their honesty. Suppose I am very honest or dishonest. It is not for me. If I'm dishonest, it's wonderful because I know dishonesty. If I can inspire somebody to honesty, it is my privilege. And it is very authentically, absolutely wrong when you judge a person, he's dishonest, he's corrupt, he's this, he's thief, he's felon, he's this and that, you say so. It's okay. You have the right to say so. But you have lost the sense of forgiveness and chance to elevate that person. Your judgment is, and your judgment will one day judge you. You cannot avoid the judgment. When you use judgment, it will judge you. In this planet, it's just like a sky. Some came to serve the master. Some came to stab the master. Some came to just bullshit the master. Some came to admire and praise him. Some came for nothing, and some came for everything. Some came to become slave so they can be master tomorrow and carry the rhythm of the universe. Everybody has come for something. Nobody has come alone. When I see people, they bring themselves to the point they could be dismissed, and still they don't move. They should not have taken life as a human because they have done something wrong. Life cannot be a wall. Life can be a very well a moving flow. When you are stuck with your neurosis, or your fantasy, or your daydream, or with your imagination, you do not know what you are losing. You are losing the total purpose of the life. Total. There are no two opinions about it. Life must flow, and in this flow, everybody should flow. So you can reach the destination. Anyway, what these are things which people do. What your body look, if his impression is not to another person that you are stable to yourself, and if your mind does not support it, and your spirit does not come through, then story is, woman is a woman, one is a whore and one is a queen. One is old and one is a teen. Makes no difference. When you project socially that you are at sale, then you will never find your real value. And when you project you are not for sale, you are for coexistence, then you will find friends. When you find that you are not for sale, but you can deliver, you will find God. People who cannot answer the call of duty and cannot deliver and have their philosophy have lost their most beautiful gift as a human. They are not trustworthy. You want to be worthy and you are not trustworthy, it's not something we can play. I have seen in this dharma, and I am very honest about it, it is my moral, ethical and unfortunate duty to hand it over. And I have been saying it all. And how can I hand it to a person who's angry, abusive, corrupt, judgmental? How can I do it? Walk in my shoes and see what I can do. I have to hand it over to a person who is better than me, who I can trust and understand. He will take it further. And people who repeat mistake once again, this become repeating mistake, become repetition, and repetition goes head of a person. You always know so and so is so and so. So your whole life is your own cycle. And this cycle cannot change. You do two things by action, being a yo-yo or flip-flop. You know what this body sign is? Flip-flop? Nothing. And when you do like this, you know better. I mean, it's not something I have to tell you what a yo-yo is and what flip-flop is. If you want this house to have foundation, then you have to see these walls carry the weight of the roof. Then is a room. Otherwise, if the walls do not carry the roof, and foundation does not give sturdiness to the walls, there's something wrong somewhere. From last 28 years, I know you all have loved me and hated me at the same time. Because I could not provide you emotional satisfaction. Emotional satisfaction is nothing but your own curse which you carry on your own head. Emotional satisfaction is never more than a small time. It's never had infinity. And it comes from your judgment, what is right and what is wrong, as you know everything. It doesn't work. And then you have wonderful thing. I'm a teenager. I'm just growing up. I'm an adult. Every person has a mental training different, environment different, background different. And every person has the authority to flip-flop and yo-yo himself. That's true. But in the long run, you will lose. For the short term, you will win. There's a beautiful story which in India ladies do. There's a Vart fast called Karavda Chauth. It is the 4th day of the moon when ladies do that. Since morning to night, they will not eat anything. They will not drink a sip of water, even not take a saliva spit inside. At night, when the moon comes and that can be seen, they have beautiful decorated big things. And they are decorated with food, fruit, money. It has a candle in the center. And they exchange that plate. And they sing this song. Sun paine meri kahani. Rani si so goli hoi Rani. That's how they start. Oh, my sister, listen to my story. The queen became the servant and servant became the queen. And then I keep on singing in the story. Story is the one king went hunting and he shot a she deer of a rishi, of a sage. And she deer ran to the cottage of the rishi and delivered the child in shock. And she deer died. Rishi took away the little thing and looked at the deer and looked at the king and he said, every pore of your body shall have an arrow needle. What is said was done. He was brought home. He was extremely suffering, absolute in pain, didn't know what to do. And when the circumstances were so painful, some wise people and the queen went to the rishi, saying, we ask thy forgiveness. He said, well, anyone who loves him, if you can pull one needle and clean out, he will be normal. Queen started doing the work. She was very successful, she did it very fast, she did it gracefully. But to technicality, when the day comes when the needles was to remove from the eyes, she said I should let it be and go and dress up myself. And before the mirror she got lost. Meanwhile, the servant lady came and she saw Queen has left that thing. So she sat down, she loved her master too, and she pulled those last needles. When needles got pulled, he looked at it. And he was grateful, and he was thankful. And he was loving and affectionate. So, when that great queen came fully dressed up, decorated with all the decor, game was already over. I have seen in my practical life one person only which I can remember. There was a saint in Amritsar, Baba Khadak Singh. He built all that white parakrama you see and everything at Golden Temple and many gurdwaras. He used to have a man called Darshan Singh. He was so abusive to that man. He was abusive in general, that was okay, that nobody bothered. But to that Darshan Singh, he was so abusive. Darshut, Darshut, Darshut. One day I asked Darshan Singh, I said, Darshan Singh ji, why you annoy Sant ji? Ukanda ji is not annoying. He is washing my karma. I said, but how you tolerate this abusive language? He said, don't you understand? I enjoy when he calls me. He doesn't call anybody like that many times. He said, it is the attention this great man is paying me. This language on the earth, God doesn't understand. I am a student. Whatever he says, I have to do. But I don't care how he says it to me, so far he says it. I said, wow. So matter ended. When Baba Khadak Singh was going to die, he said, Darshu, you mother, this, that, bring the turban. So he brought the turban. Bow your head. And he tied the turban. And he said, there is 10 crores of rupees in this room, and now you are in my place. You understand, bastard? That's how I initiated. Now he is Shri Sant Maharaj Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj. True? If you meet him, that's what he is now. And one day I was meeting Baba Khadak Singh. I said, Darshan Singh is so much in love with you, and you sometime tussle him. He said, this so and so, he should have been careful in last lifetime. He should have been careful about himself. He should have cared for him. This is so. Then I thought perhaps after this my turn will come. So I said, no, thank you very much. I left. We have 3 wrong things. We feel we are we. I, you, and we is one unit. It is an ordinary unit. We see that we are individually. That's not. Our total psyche at this time, like stars in the sky, is interrelated. We care, or I care, or you care, for ourselves. Our self is totally intertwined. So these fundamental 3 facts we ignore. Now, look at practical around you. There are people who earned at one time to be Singh Sahib and Mukhya Singh Sahib. That means they can confront the life as a guide, and Mukhya Singh Sahib as guides to help the future. That was expected. If their character cannot match that expectation, is there anybody who can tell me what to do with them? They earned it. They earned it as you have all earned the body. They earned it as you have earned the mind. They have earned it as you have earned your soul. That spiritual person who calls himself Mukhya Singh Sahib has in mind hatred, judgment, negativity, stupidity. Because the person on the earth is called Manas, Maya Nas, the artery of the Maya. Like word is equivalent people which you understand is called penis. P means urine and nas means the artery of the urine. Manuk, if his mind is not controlled, he is manuk. Uk means nothing. Then there's a name called Prani. Pran, the breath of life, one who lives by the pran. In this evaluation of human life, one thing is very important. Take a wax body, take thread into it, the mind, but if it's not lit, it is darkness. Your brightness and your beauty and your bounty is in delivery. What you cannot destroy will destroy you, but what you cannot deliver is what will destroy you. God is G, generating power, O, organizing power, D, destroying power, if you do not deliver. Nanak delivered, Jesus delivered, Muhammad delivered, Buddha delivered. They delivered. They were human like us, they died like us, they have discomfort like us, they were cheated like us, they were dragged like us, but they delivered and they lived. Why we cannot do that? Because we do not want to elevate ourselves from ourselves. From our ashes, we refuse to rise. Rather, we make a ash dust, and then we want people to look at us as clean. We are not clean. We are stuck in our own ashes. Our worst enemy in our life is our judgment system. We want to judge everybody and we want nobody to judge us. When we judge somebody, we disconnect. It finishes everything. So, why we are in this problem? Because we are not technically trying to elevate ourselves with our full facility and faculty of our psyche. So tonight we are going to work on ourselves very slowly, calmly, quietly, in a strength to achieve our motive, which is realistic. So kindly take this hand and put it in this strength like this as I am putting it just. So it must have a connection with earth, and this must have a left, must have, it's the opposite side of it. This is the earth and this is the heaven. But see please, the hands are very tight, tough, fingers are tight and tough, and they are absolutely before you as you are sitting. Look at the tip of your nose. Spine has to be in this absolute state, and the finger has to become like steel. You have to stretch them so good. Concentrate. See, your hand fingers are absolutely and solidly tough. They call them steel tough. It's a very heavy exercise. It's going to change the psyche and your magnetic field and the iron in your body. If you care to do it right. Health, wealth and happiness, those three lines in the wrist, from there onward the hand should be so much tough that it cannot be even cut if somebody cuts it with a knife. Breathe maximum and breathe deep. You must enjoy the experience and you must create the experience. Take the deep breath and breathe it out with a force. Be in command. The breath has to be totally mechanical and not automatic. And the fingers have to be tough like steel. I am going to put you under a shower if you behave like this. Try your luck and try it hard. Breathe mechanically. Don't hesitate to make mechanical very rhythmical and full strength. Now comes the D-Day. Squeeze your entire body like as you did with hand and breathe. Entire body. It will stimulate your psyche. Please experience. Mechanically breathe and make your entire body as tough as you can. Your glandular system may not hold you better, it must be weak. But now if you just do not worry about it, push through, you will have a nice day. Now pull your tongue out and breathe. Lion breath, long and deep, mechanical. Take your time. It will disturb your grandeur balance, but if you breathe your tongue out and body holds stiff, you will find later on what you have achieved. Impact should be on the whole body. Squeeze. Now please put your hands in your lap and sit straight and breathe very calmly. Harnarayan thing. Meditate deeply and go into a thoughtlessness. If you want any achievement in your life, achieve thoughtlessness so that you can be you. There's no other way. Right now, denounce the thought. put that Satnam Vaheguru tape and you have to pump your navel with it, absolutely breathing yourself voluntarily and not allowing the posture to change.
Satnam Vaheguru, Satnam Vaheguru, Satnam Vaheguru, Satnam.
Let your navel dance. Breath should be absolutely mechanical. Inhale deep, 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 and cannon fire out. Inhale deep again, deep, 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 and fire it out. All the way. Inhale deep again, deep, deep, deep. Squeeze your entire body, keep the breath tight, and fire out. Relax. On this day, Harbhajan Kaur, be seated for a while and don't try to get up.
On this day
See, you expected after this that I'll talk. So you had a thought. You have failed. You were put in thoughtlessness. Resume thoughtlessness again. Well, we'll stay here in midnight if that's the way you're going to act. May God bless us with the universal thought, universal truth, and universal existence through all good and bad. May we be covered by His given strength of applied intuition. May we not be watching our own animosity and our enemies. May we be forgiving and bless till eternity. May our visit to earth be fully paid by service, recorded with grace, and may we service in excellence unto the Almighty God. Sadhana.